There are countless reports of non-resident US LLC founders suddenly having their US bank account frozen, sometimes with no warning, but the truth is there is always a reason behind it, and the good news, most of these freezes are completely avoidable if you know what to watch out for. And in this video I'm going to explain exactly what gets your US LLC bank account frozen and give you a simple checklist of 5 things you need to remember to keep your account safe. If you follow these, you should have no issues maintaining your US LLC banking. If you are still looking to set up a US LLC as a non-resident, we have established LLCs for countless clients from various countries, mostly in Wyoming, Delaware, and Florida. We basically handle everything for you: your LLC registration, your EIN, and even your US bank account setup. Normally this process can take weeks, but we incorporate the company in less than 48 hours and also get the EIN issued in less than a week. And we won't let you down when it comes to the most important part, opening a bank account, and this is a step where most people fail. On top of that, we take care of all required filings and even connect you with a US-based tax advisor who specializes in helping non-US founders like you. So if you want to avoid headaches and get your LLC fully operational quickly, check the links below. So how do you actually get a US bank account? For most non-residents, you will need a US LLC. Some digital banks like Mercury or Relay allow foreign founders to open accounts with ever visiting the US. If you want to open a bank account with high street banks like Chase, Citi, or Bank of America, this usually requires a physical visit to the US, a US address, and sometimes initial deposits. So for most non-residents, digital banks are the only realistic option, but even these accounts can get frozen if you don't meet their requirements. So let's talk about what gets your account frozen. First of all, no connection to the US. This is the most common reason, to be honest, and banks like Mercury, for example, require your business to have at least some US connection, typically in the form of US clients or US operations. And here's the tricky part: from a tax perspective, US clients alone usually don't create a US tax liability, but for banking purposes, it's enough to keep your account open. So make sure your LLC has at least some US-based customers or transactions, and this is the single most important step to avoid your account being frozen. Because of course, a bank wants to see a reason why you need a bank account in the US if you don't even live there. Secondly, high-risk industries. So certain industries are considered risky by banks. If your bank falls into one of these categories, your bank account is more likely to be closed. If you have an OnlyFans agency, for example, this falls under the category of prohibited activities at Mercury and most other banks also. If you still want to open an account there, you must logically portray the business in such a way that it is not considered an OnlyFans agency, but rather a normal social media marketing agency, for example. And in the links below the video, you can see examples of which industries are prohibited at Mercury. Also, if your business deals heavily with cash, digital-only banks like Mercury probably aren't a good fit. Number 3 is prohibited countries. So banks have restrictions on which countries founders can be residents of, and common examples include North Korea, Afghanistan, Syria, but the list is much longer. Some unexpected countries like the Philippines, Ukraine, or Croatia, for example, may also be restricted, so make sure your country of residence is allowed before opening an account. Number 4, your account activities do not match your KYC information. So what does it mean? When you want to open an account, you must provide your bank with transparent information about your company and yourself. So you give the bank an estimated turnover, number of transactions, countries from which you receive money or to which you send money, etc. So for example, if you state in the application that you will generate less than 10k USD in turnover, but then generate 100k USD in turnover, the bank may quickly ask questions because there is a big difference. And the same applies to transactions. For example, if you frequently receive funds from Argentina in real life, but did not specify this in the KYC process, the bank may quickly ask questions, or if it is very suspicious, even close the account. So try to provide as accurate information as possible in the KYC process. Number 5 is flagged registered agent address. This is also a very common reason for account refusals or even closures, and most non-resident US LLC founders have registered their US LLC with a so-called registered agent. But the problem is that thousands of LLCs are often registered at these addresses, and this address is often then provided as the operating address on the application, and the EIN letter is uploaded as proof of address. However, banks know that you cannot operate from there because many other companies are already registered there. So to recap, 5 things get your US LLC bank account frozen. Number 1, no connection to the US, so no clients, no operations. Number 2, being in a high-risk industry or dealing with cash. Number 3, residing in a prohibited country. Number 4, your account activities do not match your KYC information. And number 5, flagged registered agent address. Follow these rules and you have a significantly higher chance to maintain your US bank account without worrying about freezes. If you have already established a US LLC and are now facing the challenge of opening a bank account, or perhaps have even been rejected, we have developed a solution that will help you open bank accounts as a non-resident US LLC founder, the US LLC Banking Blueprint. And this includes a step-by-step guide on how to open bank accounts for US LLCs as a non-resident, a database of banks and fintech companies where you can open accounts for a US LLC as a non-resident. It also includes KYC walkthroughs for the most important fintech companies and a strategy for obtaining a US address for the company that is not flagged by the banks. And on top of that, we have included a US credit building guide that shows you exactly how to build credit in the US and get access to the world's best credit card. So if this sounds interesting, you will find the link in the description. I hope this video helps you to avoid the mistakes that freeze so many non-resident US LLC accounts. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next one. Bye.